a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip with me.
Hi, my name is Nate Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of GLCS, and this is the Driving Forward Podcast Tuesday Trip. How does technology impact your company? Over the last 30 years that I've been in the industry, technology has taken a much larger role in transportation and logistics. And really, transportation and logistics companies, in a lot of ways, have become technology companies for the most part. If you look at 30 years ago, the technology that we used, which was really an afterthought, versus today, the technology that we use, this is now a very much so a forethought. We utilize that technology in a way that supports our customers very much so, to create a visibility platform, to connect them to their documents that they need. In many cases, they don't have the details. Our customers and our vendors don't necessarily have the details that they need to do their day-to-day business until they get details from the carriers or the logistics organizations, specifically the carriers, once the freight is moving. So when you look at all of the data points that transportation companies are tracking today, you really question, is this a trucking company or is this a technology company that moves freight? So when you peel that back even further, how does technology impact your company culture? And it really begins at, is technology a positive or a negative influence at your company? And that begins at implementation and how implementation is adopted. And it continues through that life cycle of the product that you're using, or multiple products. But at this particular point, we'll focus on one particular product. If you are using products that people like, that's going to be positive towards culture. If your products are easy to use, if they don't create cumbersome processes, if you are using them appropriately. You may not know, you may think that your solution is poor, but you may not know that you are using it poorly and you are simply just not deploying it right. That all creates poor culture within an organization, which is surprising because some companies that we work with have great culture, but poor technology. And, the culture, that balance could be better. They have good people that have hung around and they just charge through this poor technology that they're using. And it would be nice to see that level out further. In the scenario where companies that have great technology and great culture, you see a win-win scenario. So what does a good technology create, and how do you create that company culture out of it? What positives do you get out of that, and where does it begin? Employee engagement in the beginning. So, lots of companies, when they're selecting technology and when they're implementing new processes, don't necessarily engage that frontline user base. And employee engagement on the frontline user base is extremely important. It makes them feel heard and felt, and they are the ones that are using it on a day-to-day basis. And you want to ensure that is core to an implementation, and that the employee engagement up front is solid. That's going to raise that feeling amongst the troops and the users, and it's going to be much more solid within the organization. Other things within technology, a solid technology core is going to enhance your communication and collaboration. That's a soft company culture increase. You're not even realizing it's happening. Whether it's a TMS, it's a messenger system, it's, email, AI monitoring, it's any form of communication. It's a good phone system. But those all add up to enhanced culture and or enhanced communication, which creates enhanced culture. And anytime that you have a great level of communication and collaboration, you're going to have better culture, or likely are going to have better culture. Anytime you have data-driven analytics, so if you're making decisions based upon the data that your organization operates on, if you make decisions based upon factual data that happens on a day-to-day basis, and you use your technology to better understand your customers and what your customers needs, what your employees and what your employees needs, that's going to drive to a better culture as well. It also allows companies to offer employees, technology also allows companies to offer employees more of a choice in how and where they're going to work. So we've seen that a lot over the last few years with remote workers and how and where people are going to work, whether you choose to work remotely or you are in office. Transportation logistics largely is a 24/7 role, and you now have access in a different way to the office at odd hours. So no longer at 8 o'clock at night do you have limited access to the office. Your office access is now fairly clear. It's just like working from home. And should you need to access something at the office in the evening or on the weekend, there's no true need to run into the office anymore. There's plenty of other reasons and areas where technology can continue to impact culture. And it starts at employee engagement, but it works its way all the way up to the executive team. And it's important that the executive team and all company stakeholders understand technology at some level, at least conceptually. In today's age, there's too many pieces of your organization that are revolving around technology. It's not just within the office. If you're going to implement a new system within a truck, you should be working with your driving team to ensure that they understand what's going to be implemented in the truck and how that's going to impact them. Get their opinion on it. The engagement that you will get from them will pay dividends in the end, and you will not have pushback like you may have if you go forward without their input prior to pushing it. So a great example of that is forward-facing cameras. Working with the driving team that you currently have to deploy them is going to be a lot better than just putting them in and not getting feedback from them. Developing a team of drivers that are your test group or committee to review and determine technology and then work with other drivers to deploy that technology is wise in this case too, and may help drive that culture moving forward. On Thursday at 1 p.m., we'll have Evan Shelley on the Driving Forward podcast. Evan Shelley is the CEO and co-founder of Truck Parking Club. Evan's been on the road with Chris Thomas. Chris Thomas is an owner-operator that's been largely seen on social media and really has been bridging a lot of different areas in transportation logistics. Evan went on the road with Chris for 8 days, and I'm really excited to talk to him about that and a lot of other industry issues. So once again, 1 o'clock on Thursday. Very excited to have Evan on the show. If you've made it this far through the Tuesday trip, once again, please don't forget to follow us on whatever platform you're watching on. We appreciate that. It certainly helps us out. And stay curious, stay informed, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, drive forward with purpose and innovation.